Good evening, everyone. I would like to welcome everyone here today. Thank you for spending your evening with us. My name is Pierce Robinson. I am the manager of Diversified Business Solutions at the Urban Redevelopment Authority of Pittsburgh. Just for everyone who isn't familiar with the URA and what we do, we are the economic development arm of the city of Pittsburgh's government. We facilitate the development and construction within the city that use public resources like land or buildings. And in addition to that, we provide significant resources for homeowners and renters, as well as small business owners. Tonight, we have a very, very exciting presentation. We're kicking off our partnership with 84 Lumber. We have a lot of different programs and initiatives that 84 Lumber is going to offer contractors in general, but specifically MWBEs in our region. So, we definitely want to make sure that, you all came out to be able to hear some of the great programs that we have. Just really quick, for MWBE, the URA has some products as well. One of the main products that we're pushing right now is our Minority Business Growth and Recovery Loan. That is up to $100,000. It's for existing businesses that are registered within the city of Pittsburgh. And it covers a number of different things. The idea of it was really to help, a lot of the minority businesses to sort of, recover from COVID and just move forward. We have a lot of other different tools, but I just wanted to make sure I mentioned that, just some of the things that, were relevant to you. We're also going to be working on some different initiatives to help MWBEs who are interested in becoming state certified. I know that's a really big thing in order to be able to access some government contracts and opportunities. So we'll be rolling out that service as well. So one of the things I wanted to mention is that, if you or someone MWBE, a fellow MWBE, wants to have a consultation with us, please reach out. I'll leave my email in the chat. Reach out to me anytime. My team will definitely get back with you so we can sit down and have a consultation and to figure out how we can help you move your business forward. One of the things I also want to do is make sure that everyone is familiar with our process of procurement in terms of being able to find out which opportunities are coming through URA. We used to use public purchase, but we moved away from public purchase and we have a new system called IWT. And it's pretty straightforward. We encourage everyone on the line to please sign up for IWT so you could be updated and emailed when opportunities come down the pipeline that you may be interested in. I'm gonna drop the link in the chat. So, please make sure that you sign up for that. We wanted to make sure that you also knew about some of the internal opportunities. So we have two special guests from the URA today. We have Corey and then we have Rich. They'll both be speaking shortly. But like I said, I thank everyone for coming out today. We'll have Corey speak, then we'll have Rich speak, and then we'll move into our presentation from 84 Lumber. So I'm going to shut up and I'm going to transition it over to Corey, and I'm going to drop those links in the chat. So thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
I appreciate it, Pierce. How's everybody doing this evening? I'm Corey Rico. I am the Assistant Director of Facilities Management. Basically, I'm the construction supervisor. And I deal with, we have kind of a threefold system that we have going on at the URA as far as construction and opportunities. The first opportunity that we have is basically with on the commercial side. It's with development projects that somebody wants to develop something or build something new. And we have an engineering staff and an architect on board that we utilize for those opportunities. We do not control in those specific situations when there's a development or a developer approaches the URA with an idea. We do not control what construction companies or what GCs or whatever are utilized on those jobs. We try to encourage them and let the contractors know that those opportunities are out there, but we can't control who they use on those jobs. The second phase of what we have is what I actually control is the home loan programs, the construction on the home loan programs. We have various home loan programs through the Housing Opportunity Fund, which is we receive from the city of Pittsburgh, which is $10 million a year for the next 12 years. In those particular home loan programs, a homeowner can get a loan for $30,000 to do a rehab on their home, whether it's windows or doors or roofing, whatever they need, through the HAP program. We also have another program called the Happy program, and a homeowner can get a $10,000 grant to do an accessibility upgrade. I'm sorry for the phone. If you hear the phone ringing, I'm sorry about that. I apologize. The third phase of what we have is what my colleague Rich will speak about, is the Pittsburgh Housing and Development Corporation, the PHDC. Through the home loan programs, we only utilize general contractors, and the contractors, if they want to sub out the work or whatever, that's okay. But we utilize the general contractors, and we really like to use MWBEs to try to invest back into the community and try to help build smaller contractors that are kind of upstarts to work in the community. But one of the most important aspects that we do stress is professionalism and workmanship. These are people taking out, the customers are taking out loans, and they want what they're paying for, and we want to make sure that all the work is permitted and all the workmanship is platinum service. That when they purchase something, they get a new roof. It's a 30-year roof, and they get new doors and windows, that everything is done, installed correctly. So we have an inspection staff that goes out and works in conjunction with the Building Inspection Division, or PLI, as you may know them as, to make sure that all the work is permitted and everything signed off and approved before we actually issue payments. Is there any questions so far? Don't be shy. Any questions? So yeah, so that's what we do. Like I said, we have the commercial side of what we do in development. We have the home loan program, and I'll kick it over to my colleague Rich to give you some information about the PHDC, or the Pittsburgh Housing Development Corporation.
Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. Thanks for taking out time during your dinner time to be with us this evening. Just to give you a real brief overview about the Pittsburgh Housing Development Corporation, it's the URA's nonprofit residential development arm. We do all residential housing for community groups, especially communities that are underserved. Right now, we're in Beltsuver, we're in the Upper Hill District, we're in Sheridan, we're in Allentown, we're in Carrick, we're in Lincoln Place, we're in Larmer, and I probably left a couple places out. We only go to neighborhoods that we're actually invited to. Our goal this year is to produce 25 homes. First quarter, we've already produced 5 and sold the 5 that we've already done. And so if all goes as planned, I need to get 15 to 20 more out of the door before the end of the year. And our immediate needs right now are to provide opportunities for general contractors and for subcontractors. The way we operate is this: on large projects, what I call large projects, or those that need extensive renovations, I'll get that to a general contractor, let him handle the whole thing. This is a small, what I call mod rehab project, we'll handle that ourselves. What I mean by that is we'll assemble a team of subs to get it done. We'll have the building permit pool. We have a regular HVAC contractor that we use on a regular basis. We have a roofing team that we use on a regular basis. We have contractor accounts set up with window manufacturers. We have accounts set up with Lowe's, Home Depot. They give us deep discounts. So those small projects, we hire subs to get the work done. When those projects are completed, they go on the market. They're sold to families anywhere between 80 to 120% AMI. Someone needs to mute the phone. So,
let me see. Okay.
Could someone mute that for me, please? Thank you. And our goal is to provide home ownership in the city of Pittsburgh. I like to say that the product that we put out is the next best thing to a brand new house. Normally, when we put something on the market, it's normally gone in 30 days. So that attests to the quality of the workers or the contractors that we hire. What we look for, to be very honest with you, is I look for quality work. If you don't do quality work, don't call me. And I know that sounds cold, but we had a gentleman, I'm not going to mention his name. He came to us and said, you know, Richard, give me an opportunity. I can do this, I can do that. And he sounded real good. And the references that we checked, They must have been all his relatives because they gave all good references. We put him on the job and went out there. I was totally disappointed. And what we did was we tried to help him understand what quality meant to us. At the end of the day, I wanted releasing him from the contract, paid him what we owed him, and to bring somebody else back in to clean up what he didn't do right. And so when I ask people if you tell me you do 25 things well, I probably won't believe you. Tell me what you do well, and that's the thing I'm going to hire you for. The other thing that we look for is my favorite 4-letter F word is fair. Look for a fair price, quality work. Our turnaround time on being able to pay people is pretty quick. I know people have heard the horror stories of how long it takes to get paid. You get paid in 10 days. I think that's pretty good in today's standards. We do the hiring ourselves because we own the properties that are being renovated. And so you work directly with myself or the PHDC team. We keep it real nice, simple. I like to look at it as a family relationship so we can build long-term relationships. And that's what we're looking for. Our immediate need, as I mentioned before, or we're looking for general contractors. I have more work than what I have people to perform the work. One thing I'll say about working with us is you do a good job, fair price will keep you busy. And on those small projects, this is an opportunity for small contractors to be able to build up the resume and be able to really show their skills. I've been using the same HVAC contractor now for 3 years. His price is fair. The quality of his work is unbelievable. He goes in, gets the job done, gets the check in 7 to 10 days. No issues whatsoever. So I say that to say this. If you're looking for a great opportunity and working with a great team, it's with the PHDC. Be more than happy to talk with anyone. If you have someone that you can even refer to us, we have the opportunities that are there, and love to be able to make those relationships happen. I'll turn it back over to our speaker.
Well, Rich and Corey, can both of you guys drop your emails in the chat, please, so people be able to reach out to you? Thank you. India, you could take it from here.
Good evening, everyone. Our next presenter is Christy Powell from 84 Lumber.
Hey, everybody. I'm Christy Powell with 84 Lumber. Thank you so much for giving Jordan and I an opportunity to talk to you guys tonight about what 84 Lumber is doing for the communities. I'll tell you a little bit about me. I have been in commercial sales in the lumber construction industry for 25 years. And in July of 2020, I took the position as a WBE representative for the company. And honestly, I've kind of been on an island all by myself for 25 years. There's not a lot of women doing what I was doing for a long time. And I'm happy to be able to support women and minorities in all of the locations where we have communities and we can help. It's very important to Maggie, very important to the company for us to build each other up in the communities where we have locations. So that's a little bit about me. I have 2 girls. I am happily married to the love of my life that I met when I moved to South Carolina all the way from Indiana. And I'm looking forward to actually meeting some of you someday. I've been looking forward to that since since July of 2020, but hopefully I'll be able to do that. You want to move it to the first slide for me, India? Okay, so who's 84 Lumber? A little bit about 84's history. It was founded in 1956, and it was a very small building that you would just take your pickup truck and pick up some lumber. Ideally, you would see Maggie on the yard with her dad in the yard. So that's kind of cool. She actually grew up on the yard and going to business meetings with her dad. We are a privately held company. We are the largest privately held lumber yard in the United States, and we are owned by a woman. Yes. So very, very cool stuff. Maggie, I'm just going to give you a little bit of background on Maggie. We've got another slide about it, but she was asked in 2011 to get certified as a WBE. And Maggie is a little bit like me in a way that when I started in the construction industry, I didn't want business because I was a girl. I wanted business because I was really good at what I did, and I worked really hard. And Maggie didn't want to get her certification, or probably didn't think about it until one of her biggest customers came to her in 2011 and said, hey, we need you to get certified. We have participation needs, and we know that you can fill those for us through 84 Lumber. So we did $4.3 billion in annual sales last year. So we have grown extensively since that small little lumberyard in 1956. We have 250 locations, 10 component plants, and 27 EWP hubs and door shops. Some of those door shops are on location with our stores, and some of them aren't. We have 5,600 employees, associates, and we did $157 million in multifamily housing last year, which was a great year for us for that. We have 13 commercial hubs now that are not listed on here, and that each of those commercial hubs support several stores, and they actually have over 200 years of experience in each one of those hubs. So any large projects that we do actually go to the hub for them to do the takeoffs, for them to work with labor if that's necessary, and that kind of thing. Next slide, please. So Maggie, in 1992, took over the company. She was 26 years old, and she brought the company to $2 billion in sales in 2002. And as I said earlier, the company is the leading privately held lumberyard in the United States, and we are certified women-owned business. In her personal time, Maggie enjoys traveling and outdoor activities and spending time with her family. Next slide, please. So one of the things that Maggie has done to set us apart is that with us being a privately held company, we don't have people telling us what we can and can't do when it comes to what our customers need. So when people ask me what makes you different than the rest of the lumberyards, that's it. So if we have a customer that needs this type of project or this type of product, there's nothing we can't do because we don't have strict rules and regulations. When we go to we go to Maggie or Frank and say, hey, we need to do this because our customer needs this. 9 times out of 10, it's one answer, yes or no, because they get to make those answers. But if it's going to help a customer, that is something that we are definitely going to make happen. So we serve our customers through a team of dedicated, honest, hardworking associates. We supply customers with great products and services. We save our customers time by offering competitive value-add pricing. And we do create a family environment where nothing is impossible. And that's kind of what I was elaborating on earlier. Nothing is impossible. So if we have a situation, we are able to work it out and help the customer get what they need. Next slide, please. So here's an example of some of our stores. Just a small example. I don't know how many of you know much about 84 Lumber, but I think probably some of you, this is kind of going to be a shock. Just seeing how big we are and how we're all over the United States. Next slide, please. So we also have component plants, which I mentioned earlier, and those plants actually build wall panels, floor trusses, and roof trusses. We have between 30 and 100 associates per plant. We sell directly to builders, and then we sell to our stores from the component plants directly to the stores. Next slide, please. So we also do a lot of installed sales. And what that is when we get a project from one of our customers and they want us to supply the labor and the materials for framing, siding, roofing, windows, doors, molding, cabinetry, we're able to do that. So one of the things that we're doing in this arena is we are looking for WBEs, MBEs, SBAs, veteran-owned, labor supplies, labor availability, so that we not only can possibly put them to work on our jobs, but we're also taking those people and we're introducing them to some of our customers, some of our larger customers that need them as well. Next slide, please. So an engineered wood hub. This might be Greek to some of you, but engineered wood products are what our floors are made out of in a lot of the homes. We have several of those hubs. We actually precision cut each of these floor systems with a saw that's typically on our hub location that we actually put the readings in. It automatically cuts and labels each member so that when it gets out to the job site, the framers know exactly where each member goes. We also sell those directly to the builders, or we sell them to our stores from our hub location. Most are standalone operations, but some are still on our store property. So Greenville's location is actually at a different location, but several are on the same store location property, and then some are just by themselves. Next slide, please. So I'm going to talk to you a little bit today about government sales and MBE. You can go ahead and move to the next slide, India. We have a nice sized department that handles nothing but government sales and WMBE participation on projects. So what do we do there? We act as a support network for our store associates performing on publicly funded projects and projects that have an MWBE spend requirement. We introduce governmental agencies and large corporations to our subcontractor, like I mentioned earlier, and the products and service that 84 Lumber Company can offer. Our customer base ranges from very large commercial customers all the way to the small subcontractors that may be just doing 1 or 2 jobs a week. We do that in the capacity of government and publicly funded jobs, but we also do it on the private level as well. So I don't know how much you've noticed about all of the things that are going on in the country, but there have been a lot of private companies that have changed their contracts to include 30% WMBE spend. There are a lot of people that are doing that right now. It's important. It is something that probably needed to happen before now, but we've been really excited to see that private companies are upping their MWBE spend, and also public companies are maximizing that amount. So where some of these cities and states that we've been working with for years had a 15% WMBE spend, now are showing us a 30% MWBE spend. So what that means is on a $60 million project, $18 million of that has to go to MWBE certified contractor. So that's a lot of money. So if you are not certified yet, please get with the URA and Pierce and just start that process, get that process rolling. So the other thing that we do is we mitigate risk for our customers. So if we sign a contract with one of our subcontractors that is going to work for a federal agency and they've got a contract, we actually look those contracts over and just check out all the details and make sure everything is on the up and up and that there's no big risk involved for 84 or for our customers. Next slide, please. So types of government agencies: federal, military, state, county, local, service and supply contractors working with a government contract, private sector corporations. These are just a short list of customers who use MBE and WMBE participation. Next slide, please. So how can your MBE help you grow? Many government and commercial customers are required to demonstrate good faith efforts to purchase goods and services from diverse businesses. This is a component to the total solution for 84 that provides to our support network. We're connecting our MBE partners and WBE partners to our customers to help you grow and support your businesses. Next slide, please. So why is this so important now? I don't know if you know these statistics, but in 2017, the government was the biggest spender of goods and services on the earth, 3.98 trillion. As a WBE, MBE, SBA, veteran-owned, the government literally sets aside millions of dollars every project for small businesses only. So there's a certain pool of money that you're not going to have to compete with somebody that's a much larger company. So they actually take a percentage of these big dollars that they're spending, they set them aside, and they let just the small businesses qualify or bid on that project. So the other reason that you should get certified as an SBA, a WBE, or MBE is that reason alone, because you are not having to compete with somebody that's much bigger. 84 Lumber is here to help. If we have vetted your company, we've created, we see your financial stability, and we have also looked at what you're doing, and we know that it's something that you can help us or help our customers with. We're trying to make those introductions as well. Next slide, please. These are the entities with diverse supplier, a supplier diversity program, corporations, government organizations, national builders. These on the right here are just a small example of some of the companies that we're doing business with that have very large WMBE spend goals. Messer Construction alone has $175 million WMBE spend a year. And if they don't meet that, their regional managers don't get bonuses. This is very serious to a lot of companies out there right now in the United States. Next slide, please. So here's our location map. It's showing all of the locations where we are, all of the red dots are where we have locations, and all of the blue dots are component plants. And let me see. Got something covered up over here. I'm sorry. The blue dots are the installed sales, and then any place where there's purple, that's all where we are certified. And now we have a certification area that's almost covered the South Carolina, middle of South Carolina. So we are continually using, using our resources. I've got a customer right now that's in Utah, even though we don't have locations over there, we're trying to find her a way to connect and a way for her to get materials at a good price and maybe connect her with some of our suppliers. Next slide, please. So here are the certifying agencies that we are currently certified with. So that's a lot. If you don't know a lot about certification, every municipality might be a little bit different. I don't know how much that's going to affect this audience, so I won't talk a lot about it, because if you're in the Pittsburgh area or in Pennsylvania, your WBE MBE should be set up in the state of Pennsylvania or in Pittsburgh, the locality. Next slide, please. So how does 84 Lumber lead the way? We are building communities that care. Next slide. How we're doing that, first of all, is we are setting up WBE ambassadors all over the United States. We have close to 30 now, and those ambassadors are learning what our vision is for the WBE department and the government sales department, which is we are supporting and assisting MBEs and WBEs where we have location. What does that mean? We're connecting a seasoned sales associate with these customers that need help. We think it's very important for the people that have been going to the counter. They don't really know that those counter sales sometimes are just retail prices. We want our customers and people that are in the community to know that they can be hooked up with a seasoned sales associate that's going to help them with products, pricing integrity, and those kind of things, so that you get the same type of service as what our everyday customers do, which are contractors. We are offering a blueprint accessibility and assistance, meaning if you want to bid on a job and you cannot afford to print a blueprint, some of these blueprints cost $1,200. We want to provide a way or assist you in getting access to those blueprints. So in some of our locations, we have printed these $1,200 prints out and we put them at our locations. And then we have just let anybody come in and use those blueprints so that they can put their bid together and submit it. If there's a contractor in the city, in that city, that doesn't know how to put it on the computer, we've also got salesmen and associates that are going to help them upload their information into whatever format or software there is available to get that bid submitted. So we're really helping the smaller businesses grow. We're assisting with certification needs, and all that means is that we are just directing them to the URA or to the CVM SBC. We're assisting in connections. We're assisting by procuring MBE products and services. We actually, on our website, we have a link where all WBEs and MBEs and small businesses can offer their services and their products to 84. It's a form that you fill out. It gets sent into our purchasing department. And we actually have a group of people who look at that and try to buy. We bought $485 million worth of products from small businesses, WBEs, and MBEs last year. And this year, our goal is to increase that by 6% more. We work with large commercial contractors to execute community outreach through our subcontractors, and we engage in an opportunity where there is a contract requirement. So we do a lot of things for our customers that I feel like we are the only ones doing, but it's really important for 84 Lumber to lead the way. And the reason that is because we are woman-owned. Next slide, please. So community service, very, very important to 84 Lumber. We are actively supporting all of these missions down here, the Boy Scouts of America, Fisher House, St. Jude's, Habitat for Humanity. I'm involved in several groups where we're mentoring women in the construction field. I'm also on several councils where we're being the voice of women and minorities in a lot of areas across the United States. And I'm encouraging all of our WBE ambassadors to also do the same. Get involved in each of the locations and each of the communities that you're involved in. Next slide, please. That's our WMBE support line. This is just my information, and if you want to jot it down. And we can send, actually, we can send this slide out. I just realized that we're probably going to be missing a slide on this presentation for Jordan, so I'll just pass it off to Jordan and let him talk about it. But this is my information, and the easiest way to get a hold of me would probably be email. Also, if you want to set up an account with 84 Lumber Company so that you can get hooked up with a seasoned sales associate and you can get 30-day pricing scheduled when we can find lumber, I would love for you to send that email to WBE with the request for applying for an account at 84. And with an account, that does two things. One is that once you have financial stability, and we know you do, it's easy for us to put you in a database where we're connecting you with our customers as well. So if there's a need for a plumber and you're a plumber and you've sent your information into us and told us what you can do and what your certifications are, we're going to send that information after it's been, after you've got your account set up and you're talking to and making a relationship with salesman at the 84 Lumber stores. You are going to be able, he's going to know your work, he's going to know how you work, he's going to help you, introduce you to his customers. I'm going to introduce you to customers that are in your area. So there may be a big commercial customer come into Pittsburgh, for instance, and they come to me and say, hey, Christy, is there, do you have any WBEs or MBEs in Pittsburgh that do plumbing or do computer networking? So I've had that question so many times over the last 9 months that we started building a database. So if you want to be in that database, you want us to give your name out to one of our customers and let them know that you are a WBE or MBE, we want to make that happen for you. So just know that. And like I said, if you want to request an application, please email wbe@84lumber.com. Next slide, please. So this is our government sales department. Typically, we get them involved if there's contracts only involved. I'm not sure that any of you are going to have a use for these numbers, but I will share the slides with you so you have them. Next slide, please. Okay, a little bit about market information. Next slide. As you guys know, we have some increasing costs going on. So it has changed in a year, $25,000 per home that is being built. So an average size home that used to cost $25,000 is now costing $50,000 for framing materials. So next slide, please. So some of the things that made this happen over the last 12 months were COVID protocols, social distancing, downtime for cleaning. Every time somebody got sick, as you all know, these plants had to shut down for 2 weeks at a time. Next thing you know, here they were again. Somebody else was sick, they had to shut down for 2 weeks, and that went on as we're just kind of, pivoting, trying to figure out how to deal with it. So at the first onslaught of COVID, a lot of that was happening. So a lot of these plants that we count on every single day literally were shut down for days and days and days and days, more times than not. Downtime for cleaning. I know that our cleaning of our stores literally took an entire day and night. That's a lot taken away from a manufacturing plant. Employee absenteeism. We did see that some of the COVID people that were afflicted by COVID decided not to come back to work because that unemployment check looks pretty good, right? And they didn't have to work really hard. We saw that a lot all over the United States. So next slide, please. So those things have been a big requirement, have been a big factor in changes of pricing. So less production capacity on some commodities. Across North America, there's a billion less board feet of production year to date versus last year. Only Southern Yellow Pine has shown an increase in production, which is good. That's in the South. That's not really good for Pennsylvania because we got to move it there, right? So that's going to cost a little more. And as we know, trucking seems to be a big problem right now too, because everybody needs it and there aren't enough truckers as well. Canadian production is down 16%. Western US production is down 5.2%. The decrease in production would be equivalent to the board footage of 37,000 trucks of spruce lumber. That's a lot that's missing. So some of these mills were actually picking and choosing who they were going to sell lumber to. So fortunately, we were big enough. We were in that picking and choosing, but unfortunately, some of the smaller lumber yards, they just didn't even get the opportunity to buy lumber. So that was I think it's better now. I think everything's being allocated, but we're still running on a shortage. Next slide, please. Categories with moderate issues at this time. Honestly, interior trim is not a moderate issue anymore. That actually changed since we made these slides. It's more of a severe issue. Interior trim prices went up significantly in the last 30 days. PVC trim was not a problem until that storm in Texas. So all the resin plants got hit by that storm in Texas and they were down for a month. So what used to be a 12-week lead time is now a 20-week lead time based on those resin plants being down. As you know, when you need products, you need them now, you don't need them 20 weeks from now. So that's causing a problem. Insulation's on allocation, but the lead times are pretty good right now. Drywall's now on allocation. And we just got a letter today, maybe, or last week. It might've been last week, that the drywall went up significantly as well in the last 7 days. Cement siding, LP was struggling with and it's impacted all the cement siding because of one company. We need all the companies supply cement siding, and one of them was struggling. So now all three of them are struggling. So they're probably at about an 8 to 12 week lead time as well on big projects. OSB, as you know, is more expensive than my car at this time. No, just joking. My car's not that cheap, but it's pretty high. So OSB hasn't come down at all. The only saving grace that we have right now is some of the yellow pine and spruce are kind of keeping their value right now. It's not going up every single Friday like OSB has. Next slide, please. So some more factors impacting the building material costs. The yearly start forecast changed in March, and they were wrong. They forecasted it was going to change, and they were wrong. So when COVID hit in March, we thought things were going to get better by the first part of this year, but most of the builders kept their start projections elevated, and nobody really shut down. And all the people that were home working were actually looking at their house every day. And so all of those people were out fixing things in their home, or they were building on because they needed an office set aside from their home so the kids wouldn't be screaming in the background. We saw a lot of those things happen over that time. So not only were we dealing with a shortage, but we also had an increase in demand, not only in residential, but in commercial as well, and in government agencies. So the housing starts are still at a great pace, more than we expected. And the dealers and manufacturers never achieved a summer stocking level because of everything that was going on. Next slide, please. So here's just a recap of what we've talked about. The demand for material is still high. Rail car issues in Canada, hurricane impact, vendor data breaches, demand coupled with production issues created the perfect storm. Disruptions could continue into the fall on many product categories. Actually, that was last fall. We're seeing the same thing, only longer lead times now. Our goal at this time is to secure product first. Customers and suppliers are in this together. Communication on both sides will help ease anxiety. I'm just going to tell you personally, from my standpoint, being in commercial sales for 25 years, I had a lot of really great customers. And one of the biggest issues that I think a lumber yard or a building supply company has is the fact that general contractors or any contractors in general sometimes kind of wait till the last minute because they don't have people in their office working on things. So that wasn't a problem when windows were 3 weeks out, right? Well, it still is a problem, because if you wait until I need windows today, we still got to wait for windows, right? So I think the good thing that's happened from this lead time issue is we're seeing that contractors are now pre-planning, like they're thinking it through way ahead of time so that we can get things ordered on time. And really, if we can keep that role going where, you know, 84 Lumber Associates are sitting down with these owners and we're talking through all the details and we're making sure that these windows are right and what they want and what the homeowner wants or what the owner wants. And, you know, all of those conversations are happening in advance. There's no hiccup. There's no, you know, 20 weeks is obviously a stretch. But what's going to happen from the pre-planning is everybody's life's going to be easier. Lumberyard's going to be easier. It's going to be easier on our salespeople. It's going to be easier for us to get you better pricing because we can shop. We've got time to shop, right? We're not waiting until the last minute and getting it from the first guy that we know and saw yesterday in the office. So lots of things are happening from COVID. There were good things and bad. And I feel like this delay is really helping people pre-plan, which is going to cost them less money in the long term. Next slide, please. So 2021 outlook, next slide. Expect the continued market volatility through 2021. Our costs are remaining at elevated levels versus the 5-year averages. This is really talking about some things that we thought were going to happen, and now on our calls on Monday mornings, we are not seeing anything at this time where there is going to be lots of materials and no demand. So as long as that demand is great and the material shortages are there, we're probably going to keep seeing some increases. I'm hoping that we resolve this somehow in the United States, but right now it's not looking great. Next slide. So OSB was off the charts. We talked about that. Most mill order files are still out until November at this point. This is November of 2021. So we're actually placing orders right now that we're not going to get for 4 to 6 months. So if we sign a contract with a commercial company to do a turnkey job, and that job starts in 8 months, we're literally trying to get that material in now so that we've secured it, but then we've got to store it for 8 months. So that actually, you know, there are so many things that are causing the increase in prices. So if we store it, or if the company stores it, the contractor stores it, either way, it's going to add cost to the project, right? Many customers are looking at OSB alternatives, and there are availability issues with resins and all the things we were talking about earlier, which has put a damper on the sales, actually the shortages on the sales of subfloor. You have to have a floor in your house, right? It just doesn't work without one. So there are a lot of different products out there, Edge Gold, Durastrand. So we're trying to make sure that all of our customers know all the product availabilities so that we can help them not, you know, keep their job going and not stop the job. Next slide, please. So these are the categories with serious issues: long lead times, interior doors, lock sets, vinyl windows, composite decking, LP siding products, flame blocks, dimensional lumber, OSB, plywood, shingles, and engineered wood is on allocation as well, and the increases have gone into effect. So literally this list is pretty much everything that is in our wheelhouse that we're really good at. So it has been a challenge, but we have done our best to be loyal to all of the customers that are loyal to us. So if we have customers that have been working with us for years, we're not going to help a new customer that's walking in the door other than these small customers that we're really reaching out to right now and trying to help them grow. If another big customer comes to us that hasn't been doing business with us for years and they want to start buying up our material that our loyal customers need, we're really not letting that happen right now. So we're keeping our materials for the customers that have been with us for a long time. Relationships mean the world to 84 Lumber Company. And we're in this with you, and we want to grow with you. Next slide, please. So what we're doing to minimize supply chain risk, I think we've talked about most of this, is, you know, we're just ordering ahead of time. We're doing a daily analysis of what's going on in the market. We're, you know, we're finding other products for our customers, that kind of thing. Next slide, please. So the outlook again for 2021, I'm not sure why this is on there again. You can skip that slide, India, I'm sorry. So branded products, these are the increases that we're seeing this year. Just a short synopsis of what's going on with the increases. So as framing is going up, all the other products are going up as well. Unbelievably, it has not slowed down business. Like, we are busier than we've ever been, aren't we, Jordan? Next slide, please. So how to do business with 84 Lumber Company. Next slide. So what we want to do, like I talked about earlier, is we want to find your company classification. We need to find out if you're a residential, commercial, installer, or supplier. So we want to identify that on the store level. We want to meet you. We want to get to know you. We want to set up an account with you. If you have a need for our materials, we want to set up an account with you. If you're like a networking company or a plumber, or, you know, somebody that doesn't use construction materials, then we're going to find out a way to get some references from you instead of setting up an account if you don't need an account with us. So we find out what locations that you can work in. And then, like I said, we're plugging that into this database where we're all putting it together and making that work. Safety information, program details. So a lot of small companies that we're working with, they don't have a safety plan. So we're actually introducing these smaller companies to people that do have a safety plan and can help you, and they're going to do it at our cost. So very, very helpful. Next slide, please. So again, that's my email. And if you're interested in getting to know any salespeople in Pittsburgh or any of the areas that you do business, please email us, either Jordan. I think Jordan put his email in the chat. I think I saw that a minute ago. For some reason, I think my workforce development slide's missing. You're good, aren't you, Jordan, to talk about that now?
Yeah, I'm good. I could freestyle it.
Okay. I'm sorry about that. I'm not sure what happened.
No, it's fine. So how's everyone doing? I'm Jordan Morris. I have two prongs to what I do. One, I'm the Section 3 coordinator for Pittsburgh, Cleveland, and a little bit of Detroit area, Michigan area, and actually the workforce development manager for here in Pittsburgh. And currently, on the Section 3 side, if you don't know a little bit about Section 3, it's a provision that was made by HUD in 1968 to try to help people in low-income areas, to get them involved in the work and the construction that goes on there when there's some financial assistance from HUD. So right now in Cleveland, we're working on a project called Riverside, and it's actually a big public housing development that's getting restructured. And the scopes on that we have are the interior framing, exterior framing, siding, and these are buildings that have like cinder block walls. So these are the demo on these were a job, but that's something we have going on up there right now. And that is Section 3 work. So currently I'm dealing with project area residents, and those are people who qualify for the Section 3 provision. We have 4 currently on staff. This has been going on for about 12 months now, coming up on 12 months. It's an 18-month job, and our scopes will be done in 15 months. So how we work and what we do, the resources we have, we try to cut down time as much as possible when we get involved with a project. So one great thing about the Section 3 work we're doing in Cleveland right now, and hopefully we can do in Pittsburgh sooner than later, is that we're training individuals who do get hired with us. So we actually have one of our employees who spends 8 hours of training with our siding contractor. So the general contractor approved it. We go through CMHA up there, who's in charge of the redevelopment, and that's Cuyahoga Metropolitan Housing Authority. So that's in Ohio, and we have a relationship with them. There's a coordinator that I deal with up there to make sure that everything is meeting the specs it's supposed to meet. So that's a little bit what I do on the Section 3 side. Definitely looking forward to doing that here in Pittsburgh as well. So on the workforce development side, we have a program called Team 84. So it's been going on for about 4 years now. And we currently have a class going on. And what it is an opportunity for people to add tools to their toolbox who are looking to get into this industry and don't really know a lot about the industry. So whether you thought about being a carpenter before, or you're just interested in construction, but you don't really know what you want to do, this is a 10-week program. It's 1 day a week, every Friday. And we provide them with a stipend, which is $60 a day, to come and learn. And it's at CCAC. It's a partnership we have with CCAC, and it's a 4-prong component. It's OSHA. You'll get your 10-hour OSHA certification going through the program. First aid and CPR certification going through the program. We do blueprint reading, so basic level blueprint reading, some of those blueprints that are super expensive to get that Christy mentioned in her presentation. We have those just on hand, so we can bring those down and look at the types of blueprints you'll be using working with us. And the last part is getting familiar with tools and measurements. And that includes a little bit of math too. So that's letting them know what type of math and what type of numbers you need to know and be used to, and also how to use and look at the tools and read the numbers in an appropriate way. So the program, this is the 3rd class, I believe. We select the top 4, and we will actually pay for them to go to school and get their bachelor's degree. And whether it's estimating or whatever they choose to do in the construction field, we have a partnership with CCAC. We actually fund. We had one of our first graduates make it through, and she's about to graduate now in June. So COVID slowed us down because we plan to have another class. This is actually the 3rd class, excuse me. But yeah, we plan to have another class, but COVID, it slowed everything down. So this is something that we're trying to invest in the community without thinking about it, because we're making money. We're going to make money, and we're making money in the area. So why not give people an opportunity to learn and to grow and do better? So along with going to school and us funding it, we will actually give them an opportunity to work for 84 Lumber. So working for 84 Lumber, we will have some projects. If we have projects going on in the area, you can be a laborer on the project and actually get in on the site and see what 84 being a part of a redevelopment or new construction is, and get to know our scopes firsthand and take the blueprint reading you just learned and apply it to your everyday job. Or you could come into the store and follow our career ladder in the store. So our career ladder at the store has 5 tiers. So there's sales management, store management, team headquarters, installed sales, and the manufacturing side. So starting out as an MT, everyone starts as an MT, that's a manager trainee. So that's if you walk into any of our locations, who's going to talk to you at the front desk. And that's just to see your personality and your enthusiasm and your commitment to what you're doing every day. Because everyone knows when you're in sales or when you're in anything money related, you got to be serious. You got to be on point. Your energy has to be there. You have to know how to talk to people and to really give them some time to learn the product. So once you've been an MT for 6 to 9 months, then you could go to headquarters and get some further training and pick what career path, along with some recommendations that you think you might want to do for yourself. So that's the ladder side of the workforce development part. So once you make it through the 10 weeks and you work for us or work with us, now you're looking at a completely different career. Sorry, I'm trying to read the stuff in the chat. It caught me off guard a little bit. But yeah, in a nutshell, that's what I'm here doing. And I'm in the area. I'm a Pittsburgh resident. I'm from Pittsburgh. Been here my whole life. Cheney University alum. I've worked in workforce development for the past 3 years, and now I'm here at 84. I've been here for a few months, so I'm looking forward to meeting some of you guys in person once we get back to doing in-person meetings as well, and working with you guys. And if you got any questions at all, I'll put my email in the chat there, and email Christy if you want to get in touch with me. But we're doing a lot to connect and to give back and try to let people know and see us. We're here and we're giving back. We're a women-owned business. We understand how tough it is for women and minorities to crack and get the door knocked open for big money opportunities. So a lot of what Christy was talking about is assisting small subs and new subs and contractors and making it to that next level. So I appreciate everyone's time. I'll pass it back to Christy, see if you guys got any questions or anything for us.
So I wanted to finish off by saying, the responsibility is ours. And people ask me all the time, what's the difference between you and every other lumberyard? Well, the difference is we care about the community. And it's obvious in the actions that we are putting in place in all the places where we have locations. And we're committed to, 84 Lumber is committed to making a difference. So our big why, as you all know, the generous will be blessed because they give to those in need. And honestly, that is our focus in the WBE department. We are developing a program that's going to do nothing but lift businesses up, small businesses, medium-sized businesses. And how we do that is just making sure that when we're talking to them, we know who they are, we know what their capability statement is. And so when we've got a customer that comes in town and wants to work with somebody, we've got connections already made. Let me help you. Here are all the people we know do a great job. Here are their contact information. And so I think that's been a lack, which it was mind blowing to me in July when I started this job, that somebody wasn't already doing those connections. But I guess it takes a company like 84 who cares about family and cares about community to be able to say, hey, we got a platform. Let's make this happen. You know, this is good for the people. This is good for our customers. This is good for everybody. And hopefully we're going to make a change throughout. It's going to be a ripple effect, right? If we start doing it, then the lumberyards that have been trying to compete with us for years are going to want to do it too. And nothing's going to happen but good things from that, right? You know, we keep helping each other and it's going to be beautiful. So that's all I really wanted to say. And if you want to set up an account with 84, don't forget it's WBE@84lumber.com. And I think that this slideshow was a previous update. We were having so much trouble logging in. I didn't get to check the date on it. So that's why Jordan's page was missing. Man, you did a great job, Jordan, on the fly. So I apologize for that, but I'm going to send India the updated version so that you guys can all have a copy of the slideshow so that you can go back and refer to it if you need it. And I thank everybody for your time and attention. And honestly, Jordan and I are here to do whatever you need. So we are not going to be able to meet everybody really fast, but if you send us an email and you want to connect, we're going to figure out a way to connect with you, get to know you, find out how we can help you. And, you know, we're here for you. Thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. I want to say, you know, my name is India Cotto, and I am the Workforce Development Officer with the URA. I want to thank everyone for coming out, and I want to also open it up for questions and answers. So if anyone has any questions that they want to ask right now, you can feel free, and you can either unmute yourself and ask, or you can drop it in the chat box.
Hi, I had a quick question.
Yes.
Oh, perfect. Hey, my name is Glenn Vickers. I'm the principal for MRV Group. We're based in New York, and we're an MBE in New Jersey, New York, Long Island. We do all the good stuff, and we're heavy in commercial development and diversity supplier. I believe you have a location in Riverhead, Long Island, where we are in the opportunity zone.
Yes.
My question for you is, in terms of your programming, and I missed the first 3 minutes of the slide because of the password, unfortunately. I think I missed this part. You guys do provide preferred pricing for diverse suppliers to be able to go and compete with different bids as well, correct?
Yes. So one of the things that is a big initiative for us is to make sure that WMBEs, actually all these small businesses that are used to walking into the counter, first of all, we want to train them how to ask for a seasoned sales associate, right? But if you want to get a hold of Jordan or I first, we'll find you a seasoned sales associate in a location that's close to you or where your project is, right? And we'll make that introduction. That's going to give you tons of knowledge. And he's also going to be able to give you 30-day pricing like we do all of our contractors. I think what the big disconnect is that people walk in the door and think they have to go to the counter. Well, at the counter, we usually have new people. So they don't know any better. They don't know they don't have a lot of knowledge. They don't know what size your project is and how important it is. So yes, we're going to connect you with a seasoned sales associate. And honestly, I can't do 30-day pricing right now because we literally can't find materials. So we're shooting from the hip. But as soon as things get back to normal, we're going to have 30-day pricing for every single one of our small businesses, women-owned businesses, minority-owned businesses, so that you're not walking in the counter and paying 45% profit margin. That's not going to happen anymore when things get back to normal.
Well, I will tell you, what you guys are doing is fantastic, especially in communities that don't really understand these programs. So I really applaud you guys in this work, because you know we're pretty well versed in the space, and there's so many contractors who just don't understand it. So it's great that you guys are leaning into it. So I think it's a wonderful thing, and I applaud you. Yeah,
thank you. I appreciate it. I mean, it's been exciting to be able to help people. I get to go to bed every night thinking I helped like all these people. It's like the best job ever. Right? I mean, my customers are happy. The people in the community are happy, and now Jordan's making everybody happy because we get to help people that don't have a job. You know, it's like you get to go to bed. I get to go to bed every night going, oh wow, that was a great day. You know, so
Fantastic. Thank you so
Anybody
much.
else? Thank you.
Hi, my name is Tanika Deshawn. I'm the owner of theladycarpenter.com. I wanted to ask, my question is, do you have, I know you guys help us with pricing and getting materials and stuff like that. Are you also able to supply us with leads for maybe companies that maybe come to you for like jobs? Like, do you need installers for some of your clients? Or
Yes,
sorry.
absolutely. So one of the things that I'm doing right now that we're doing in the WBE department is we're building a database. So I need you to email me, anybody that's on this call, I need you to email me at wbe@84lumber.com. I need to know what your capabilities are. Obviously, we need to find out what your financial situation is first before we can refer you. We have to make sure that you're financially stable before we introduce you to either our hubs who need you to work for 84, or introduce you to our customers who are in town and need framers. But we want to do that. That's literally what's been missing, the missing piece that's been happening in the construction field for a long time. So we're making connections for you, Tanika, and I applaud you that you are a woman who owns a framing company. Like, I totally want to come to work for you right now. So yeah, whatever I can do to help. I mean, that's for everybody here. We want to put your names in a database because our customers are coming to us saying, we need a plumber. We need somebody to do networking. We need somebody to help us with our accounting because we're big and we know a lot of people. They think that we have all the answers. Well, we might, but if we have it in a database, then it's not one salesman who's been here 6 months going, I don't know, you know, so we're going to be that contact. Jordan and I, the WBE department, the government sales department, we're the ones that are putting this database together. So please send me your information and a capability statement. Or if you don't have a capability statement, you know, just a short email about what you do, what you can do, maybe reference some jobs that you've done before. That would be great.
Thank you so much. I'll be in touch.
Thank you. Anybody else?
Hi, Christy. Thank you so much. I did have a question. Good afternoon, everyone. Well, actually, good evening, everyone. I'm Dr. Danielle Davis, President and CEO of Davis Consulting Solutions. I believe I met you at one of the events that was virtual, but I have a question. Actually, does 84 Lumber have DBE goals?
Yeah, I mentioned that earlier in the presentation. We spent over $485 million with WBEs, MBEs, DBEs, small businesses last year, and we actually increased that to 6% more this year.
Okay, I'm sorry, I did hear that part. I just didn't hear what the goal was.
Yeah, we spent $485 million last year, and we added 6% to it this year. We're going to increase it every year. That's our goal.
Okay, all right. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Forwarding an email as well. I've worked closely with Amy Chris when she actually served in that role.
Great things about her.
Yeah, she's amazing, and actually she's still working with us in her new role at Amazon. So I appreciate the fact that we have a pleasure of meeting with you now.
Yes, thank you, Danielle.
Yeah, along with that money we spent with the small and diverse businesses, almost 10 million of it was locally. So we're trying to, that's a part of the money we're trying to increase as well. That's why we're trying to make these connections for sure. So that was a good question.
Hey, one more question here. Sorry to interrupt. I love these sessions. Are you guys engaged at all with the National Minority Supplier Development Council? And are you actively looking for certified firms within that category in the private sector?
So we are a sponsor for the National Minority Development Supplier. So yes, absolutely. We don't have any certain criteria for that yet. It was new this year when I came in July. I thought it was really important for us to invest in that group. I really want to focus on helping women and minorities to grow. Obviously, we're helping small businesses as well, but we really are focused on women and minorities first. So yes, we are invested in that. We're doing some sponsorships as well. And but we're not doing anything as far as projects go. I've not seen any contracts that have that designation on it yet. So I don't know if that helps answer your question or not.
Yeah, I'm a member as well, and there's lots of opportunities on the corporate partner side who need your services as well, like a Target, JCPenney's, other big infrastructures. So definitely a big avenue.
Yeah, thank you.
Does anyone else have any other questions? No.
The other thing I
Miss
wanted.
India. I'm sorry, Miss India. How do we connect with you, Miss India?
You can connect with me through email, and I'll drop in my email right now in the chat.
Thank you.
Yep. And if anyone else has any other questions, you can reach out to Pierce or myself, as well as Christy and Jordan from 80 Colombo.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And I want to thank everyone for coming out tonight, and we are ending early, so I'll give you your evening back. And please reach out to us again if you have any questions. And I want to thank our presenters for taking the time to come out and speak.
Thank you. Thanks, everybody. It was great to see you.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Take care. Bye.